Welcome to Provincial Cross Country 2016. When arriving in Delisle, athletes should enter the main doors of the school located on the east side of the building and go into the gymnasium for registration. The start line for the course will be in the playing field on the west side of the school. After starting the race, athletes will run about 300 meters on the playing field, staying to the west of the football field before turning to the west to enter the alley. For about 100 meters, athletes will run through the back alley, cross the street, and then a small section of alley again before entering the course to the 9th hole green. The alley is a gravel surface while the street is asphalt and will be closed down to vehicle traffic for the safety of the athletes. Once on the golf course, athletes will be able to run the majority of the course on the cart pathways, but will have to run the grass surface in the rough in some areas. The terrain when not on the pathways is fairly uneven, consisting of many smaller rolling hills and some flat areas. At the very north end of the course, athletes will turn to the east. They will run up the 3rd fairway hill, which is a very steep, consistent incline that will be challenging to run. When athletes reach the top of the hill, they will turn and they will continue on the cart paths as they head back down towards the south, and then once again turning to the west to go around the outside of the golf course. The majority of this run can be done on the cart paths. As they turn towards the south and they make the corner, they will once again come back down to the point where they entered the golf course. At this point, they will once again cross the alleys, the streets, and enter the schoolyard. As they enter the schoolyard, they'll run on the north side of the football field, turn to the south, and come down the east side of the football field where they will reach the finish line. Here we have completed the 3-kilometer loop. Athletes running the 4-kilometer race will run the same 3-kilometer loop. But once they are on the golf course, they will run an extra 1-kilometer loop. This loop will start and end between the 9th and 1st fairway where the 3-kilometer course turns to the north. At this point, athletes will turn south. They will follow the 1st fairway and they'll come right down and do a loop down beside the clubhouse and then head back to the north along the far side of the fairway around the 1st green and again turning to the south to rejoin the point where the 3-kilometer course originally turned. From there, they will continue around the 3K loop, and they will go right around, finishing once again in the schoolyard. Athletes running the 5K loop will start in the same place, will cross over to the golf course, and as they cross over, will run by the 4K loop, not taking it. They'll keep moving up, and they'll run through the 3K right around the course. As they are returning, coming down the 9th green, they will turn and they will rejoin the original course. As they rejoin the course, they will once again run the entire loop up around the hill, and as they come back this second time, they will not cut across but rather run back into the schoolyard to the finish line. Athletes running the 6K loop will again start in the schoolyard. They will enter the golf course, and what they will do is they will take the 1-kilometer loop upon entering the golf course. They will come around that, and as they go back up, they will run the 3K loop. So they will run around the course, go up the hill, come back around, and just like the 5Ks, as they are coming down the 9th hole, they will turn, rejoin the course, and head back out again to rerun the loop that goes up the hill. The second time through, as they come back down through this loop, they will run past the point, go back to where they entered the golf course, and once again go around the football field and finish the 6K course.